What is happening, everybody? I'm Noah from TechnoBuffalo.com. The long-awaited Versus video is here. In this corner, the Asus Eee Pad Transformer. In this corner, the Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1. They're both tablets. They both run Android. They both now run Android 3.1. They both support keyboard docks, although I only have one of them. The Samsung dock we have not gotten our hands on yet. The Asus keyboard dock is right here. In fact, this is a new model. The old one, during the firmware update process, something happened to it, so Asus was kind enough to loan us a new one. So finally, all up to date, head-to-head, which is my favorite. Which would I recommend to you? Let's find out. Techno Buffalo is on revision 3. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. I'm going to talk about both products kind of in sequence here, going through a few different categories. So let's start out with performance. Performance on the two devices is very similar. Like I said, they both now run Android 3.1 Honeycomb. This is the Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1 Google I/O limited edition, the developer's edition. You can see from the back there. We also got the official Galaxy Tab Wi-Fi, thanks to the folks at Samsung PR who lent it to us. John has that one right now. But this device, the I/O edition, was just updated this morning. The update just came out to Android 3.1. And the Eee Pad Transformer has had the 3.1 update for a little while now. There was also an update to the keyboard dock for the Transformer. So in terms of performance, very similar. They both run NVIDIA Tegra 2 dual-core processor. They both have 1 gig of RAM. They both have 1280 by 800 displays. Slightly different display technology, but I found the displays on both devices to be really, really nice. Performance has been really good. Spec-wise, the most notable difference, and perhaps one of the things that people will look at, I don't think it's really all that important in this case, but one of those things that catches people's eyes is the spec difference between the cameras on the two devices. On the Galaxy Tab 10.1, you've got a 2 megapixel camera on the front, 3 megapixel camera with flash on the back. On the Asus, on the Transformer, you've got a 1.2 megapixel camera on the front, 5 megapixel camera on the back, no flash. In terms of actual camera quality, I've yet to find a tablet that really works all that well as a camera because of size, awkwardness of taking pictures, and the actual performance. Not that much of a performance between the two in terms of actual photo quality that I found. The Samsung has a slightly better quality front-facing camera as well, and because of the nature of a tablet device, I would actually give the edge on cameras. It's basically a draw. I would give a slight edge to the Samsung because you've got a better front-facing camera and a little bit better video capture. But honestly, for all intents and purposes, it's really a draw. Also, in terms of the hardware, where the Asus gets a big advantage, I think, if you're, the general user might not care, the average user, I should say, but the hardcore user, the geeks, or if you have a specific purpose, the Samsung basically has one proprietary dock connector on the bottom. Similar to the route that Apple took and other companies have taken with proprietary connectors, it's a special 30-pin connector on the bottom that connects you to everything from USB cable to power charging, AC charging, to all the accessories, including the keyboard dock and other accessories that are out. In addition to that, or coming out. In addition to that, you've got a 3.5mm headphone jack up on the top. You've got your power switch, your rocker switches, your dual stereo speakers. If you've seen John's videos, or my other videos on the 10.1 and John's videos on the Transformer, you know a lot of this stuff already. But just by comparison, on the Asus, you do have a proprietary connector on the bottom. This snaps into the keyboard dock as well as to the cable for charging. But then you've also got some standard ports. You've got a standard mini HDMI out over here. You've got a standard memory card slot over there. Both devices have 16 gigs of internal storage. There are also 32 gig versions available for more money. But then you've got a micro SD slot right here on the Asus device, which you can use for everything from expanding your memory, to hot swapping movies and other media files, to transporting files from the device to your computer, if you do use the camera, or other devices. I always fail with the ports, man. To, you know, possible firmware updates, or, you know, hacking and rooting and modding, all that kind of stuff. So you've got some extra stuff going on port-wise. And then if you get into the keyboard dock, which is a little bit of a funny thing because it's optional, it costs more money, and there's also, you know, you have on top of the base price, and then there's also a Samsung dock, which I haven't gotten to try yet. But I will just mention that on the keyboard dock, you get dual USB ports. You get more battery life, which, you know, is a separate thing to talk about. And then you also get a media card slot here, which is even more versatile. It's a full SD card slot. Also takes MMC cards, as opposed to just the micro SD slot. So you get, you know, quite a bit more in terms of standard connectors and possible, you know, expansion use and that sort of thing off of the Transformer, particularly if you add the dock. But even if you don't, the mini HDMI out and the memory card slot right on the tablet gives an edge in terms of expandability and hardware compatibility and that kind of thing, a slight edge to the Transformer. In terms of design, like I said, similarly sized displays, 10.1 inch, 1280 by 800. The displays, I found both of them to work very nicely. Nice bright colors, responsive to touch, all that good stuff. In terms of style, you know, kind of take your pick. Again, this is the limited edition Iowa version, which I think is really cool, but this is not the one available on the streets. The Asus comes in this espresso brown color, kind of a copper brown color, which I think is pretty nice. But the main difference for me is the size. The Asus is larger. The footprint is a little bit larger. As you can see there, I've got the bottoms pretty well lined up. A little bit larger in terms of length, and then noticeably thicker and heavier. Now, to be fair, the Asus is not going to break your back. Okay, it's not, you know, an overly heavy tablet. It's a tablet. It's easy to use. I like the widescreen form factor. I've talked about this before with tablets. I think this is the form factor to go with right now. Great for HD video viewing, and then also great for holding it the long way, kind of like a pad of paper for reading, scanning through web pages, and two-thumb typing as well. I find very convenient. But everything that's great about the Asus is even greater, so to speak, on the Tab 1 because it's thinner and it's lighter. And this thing to me is just one of the sexiest, if not the sexiest, piece of tablet hardware out there right now. You know, it does, I've heard people say with the black border and the chrome trim, it looks a lot like an iPad. Personally, I agree. I think it does. But so what? We're not talking about that now, and it doesn't matter. Just on its own, it's so thin, so lightweight, so easy to hold, you know, one-handed or two, throw in your backpack. So I would give an edge to the Samsung in terms of overall style and design. They're both, you know, well made. I haven't had a problem with either one of them. But you know, this gets into bang for the buck, which we'll talk about in a second. But just, you know, price not included, the Samsung's my winner for kind of form factor and overall hardware design.